There we go. Now we're on to drawing Charizard. For real this time. After spending some time trying to figure out how to get Blender to work so that we could capture this thing. Which is going to be our reference. We're kind of modeling this off of, modeling it off the Persona 3 combat UI. The health meters and stuff like that. That's the idea that we're working from. Should I flip this? How did the rest of them look? Are they mostly like looking straight on, or... Left, straight on, right, straight on. Mostly straight on. To the left. Having another right-facing one should be fine. I could make the composition work. Alright. Let's get started by blocking this out. Horns go a little bit longer on the head before merging into the kind of the nose there. Got the second one going about and thinning out with perspective. Probably actually a little bit shorter. About here. Technique I'm about to use failed last time, but I'm nothing if not persistent. Going to go ahead and draw a rectangle. So we've got the rectangle proportion there, slightly longer on the top. He's a box. The rectangle encompasses most of the jaw there as well. This. I need to make the actual canvas wider. the references around a little bit. Big, long neck. That's too small? Yes. So again, looking at the references here. The scale of the eye roughly extends almost to the front here. It's quite narrow. Ah, okay, hang on. Now it's just the position that's off, and I can fix that. Entirely fixable problem. That's the scale roughly right. I got... These are gonna be very faint. I actually get them drawn in, but... That's a save. Let's do that. That's a good idea. The way that the brow kind of aggressively comes around onto... Basically wrapping right onto the eye. It's at its thickest on the outside. This, before wrapping around. Like that. And then... narrowing that down. He's still looking very wonky, but we'll get him there. We're mostly just blocking this out right now. Go ahead and... Oh boy. All of you getting merged. So we're not concerned with if this is actually quality at this point in time. Just blocking out shapes. How far back does the jaw go? The jaw goes beyond the eye. Not by much, but it goes... I need to narrow this out a little bit more, but... it's gonna go roughly to... that point there. Okay, that's... at the very least, Charizard shaped. Like, it's not perfect, but it is Charizard shaped. We have an object in the shape of a Charizard. Now, shape check. Now we're going to clean up a little bit. Start by adjusting the color here to be red. So we're using this to refine the sketch, which will be in black again. Just gonna label this as red line. I'm gonna go a step further with this. We use the horns for scale. Saying that this is roughly known good. So I had the scale a bit off, but it's not so bad. Let's just make sure got this aligned at the top.
What is this place?
I'm okay with using reference a little bit more closely on this one. We made our own reference, so I don't need to be too fussy about this, I suppose. The main thing I want to get right is the scale. I think maybe what I do here is just I'm tracing out the building blocks. I'll redline this once it's all traced out, and then we'll go from there. So that's the arch angle here. That's snoot is loosely rounded off. I'm gonna draw the jaw on a separate layer. Brow is like that. Need to be able to see the brow a little bit more. Extending into the back. Okay, wow. Onto the horn. Oh, and I had the brow wrong. There's the brow. Still follows fairly close to the eye. And this is roughly, we say that, sorry, that would be like, this point here is kind of the depth of where the jaw attaches. Throw this onto a separate layer. That's my wake-up alarm. You can tell how well things have gone for me today. That's roughly where the jaw is, though. The thickness... Maybe a little too thick, but... say that's roughly how that attaches. Definitely a little too thick, but that's nothing I can't fix. And make it better by trimming some off the bottom. And off the side as well. I've drawn it a little too long. It actually should be like this. No, hang on. And I can fix this if it looks wrong later as well. That's roughly where that detaches, and then the rest of the jaw. Connecting the piece there. The reason I put this on a separate layer as well is so I can adjust it by like rotating and scaling and stuff if I need. That's... okay, I put that on an incorrect layer again. Yeah, that attaches to the whole head. Second part of the brow. Slightly visible from the other side. Now that we've got the shapes brought over, oh, X tier here. To more like what we want. Oh. Barely parallel with the eyes until you get it. Okay, hang on. The teeth, they're overhanging, but... got a couple interior ones as well. He's gonna be looking a little bit strange while we continue to work on this here. He's definitely looking a little strange. I wonder if that's fixed by... like, kind of? It's kind of bringing it together. It's definitely too thick, but... Creature! True! The little bit of extra depth is... I mean, it's selling it on the bottom there. I think if I maybe make the adjustments off the overhang on that shot. Not sharp enough. I feel like his eyes are too big again. Oh, the eyes are way too big. Oh, no. Okay. Yep. That's certainly going to be a problem. I was hewing way too wide there. Let's go to like there. In terms of the scale, I like that I had the pupil scale pretty much bang on. Brow there. There. Here. definitely getting there. I'm also gonna go ahead and got a separate layer now. I'm gonna try and draw a little bit of the fire breath now. Main thing I can think of is I want it to kind of you want to make sure that it looks like it's got some turbulence to it, I feel like. Got like little like licks of fire coming off. Make the ends. Much more kind of aggressively pointy. We want them to have the, like... This feels like it's gone out too far. To be refined. I think it's kind of gonna work. Hang on, let's... this out a little bit more like this. This one. Okay, rather than adding the detail now, I'm going to instead visualize the cone that we work with. Charizard is going to blast an ice cream cone out. He's really going to enjoy that. The Sleepy Eeper. So like this. Too round and wide. I have a crude idea. And it's really crude, so bear with me. if nothing else, this is giving me a slightly clearer picture of how these puzzle pieces are going to fit together. I mean, the jaw muscle for the lower jaw actually goes up and beyond the mouth a little bit, right? So if we look at this as it was originally drawn, this point up here is like it's of the approximate anchor. Is there a way that I could adjust the... Is there a custom anchor tool? Enable transform origin. Hold the phone. Is this roughly where the anchor is? Hey, actually, maybe it is this bit here. Like... Yeah, we would actually want to use the... Right, okay, so... Disable the transform origin again. We reconnect these on. That looks significantly more correct. Incredible. What that means from here is... basically adjust this so it's as though the jaw is actually flexing. Needs a little bit more movement still, but the result there is that it actually looks attached to the head. Not just like it's floating off into space. Tidy this up a bit. Oh! That is much closer to getting where we need it to be. No, okay, so the tongue... Okay. In terms of length, the tongue goes roughly to the end of the jaws. Specifically the lower jaws, so like here. Relatively thin. But to attach more up here. If we think about roughly where the tongue is, that's a little too long. Something like this. You have the, like, lizard forked tongue? No, you don't. Charizard. Yep, it's him. Still some... There's a couple things to suss out here still, but... Like, we've got the shapes and scale coherent. I'm gonna give... I like his pointier snoot. I'm gonna keep that as my own touch. What I should do is thicken the lower jaw muscle, but... Now for the question, is that too thick? Or does it make it all look like it adheres? That is too thick! I'm in a layer hell of my own making again, but... I think now the next problem I foresee is sussing out the mouth dimension. I've got the tongue where I want it. That's a much more appropriate connection point. At this point, in fact... probably good to connect. The top of the mouth here. Still wouldn't be able to see most of this, actually. Let's consider that. We can really only see the lower mouth, but we need to have an implied connection to the top to make it look correct. long as they're... Leave the fire alone there. I just want to... Appropriate angle of cast. No, it would be originating from the back of the neck, most likely. Okay, this actually looks pretty good. I do want to make this... Okay, first of all, I'm just going to group these for now, because then I can adjust the components. Let's see how far we've come. Shapes. Terrible. Rough shapes from the sketch, or from the ref. Just pulling as much as I could off of there. Which, like, I've got, you kind of got like a Charizard skull here. You can see it if you look. He's looking good. Yeah, we're going... We've got him actually, like, blowing some flames. That's a stand-in. We'll do that properly later. But it looks convincing, is the main thing. Scary. The fuck did I do that? I'm gonna refine this a little bit down. More so like that, actually. I am going to turn this into a second red line, and then we're going to go over one more time. do one more pass to really clean up the shapes. Gonna take a quick break before we get started on that. We'll be right back. Hello, I'm back again. I'm back again. Alright. Continuing onwards. Red line 2. Just realized I should distinguish between the two. Even though, like, the difference is, striking. Alright, let's get to work. Adjusted how intense the pencil brush is so that I can hopefully go over this whole process in less strokes to get these sort of detailed lines I want to work on the inks from. Yeah, this is nice. I don't have to use as much pressure to get what I'm looking for. And I can adjust as needed as well. This will help me lock down the vision for this. What are folks up to today? How have you been? Tell me more. Mostly because I would love to talk to other people. Not just kind of ramble to myself as I've gotten really good at the rambling to myself. And, like, documenting my thought process. The thing I actually want to do is be, like, I want to be hanging out with folks. Holy cramoly. Genuinely a deranged difference between the two concepts. Got a headache and slept for a very long time. If that ain't a mood. Unfortunately, entirely too relatable. Up 10 under. Well, I guess the big thing is everything's cleared out down here, so I have the system. I have the Switch 2. We have successfully acquired it at the retail price, and I didn't have to like, get Nintendo to ship it out to me, because I got one of the local shops to match it. But the system is officially secure. I've been testing a little bit of stuff to try and make sure that I'm ready to go for when art streams are finished. Because as far as I'm concerned, these are kind of an obligation, right? People have paid for these things. I want to get them done first. And then I'm going to start working on the Breath of the Wild series and the Pokemon series, which Legends ZA ended up winning for that as well. I'm very excited to give that a go. That's the kind of big thing. As my own personal, like, I've said before, I keep some games for myself. I always do. If you're a streamer, I always recommend that. Keep some stuff for just you. Trust me, you need it. A little bit wider and then merge that in. Yeah, you gotta keep some stuff for you, and the thing I'm keeping for me right now is Fire Emblem Three Houses. I'm working on the Blue Lions route at the moment. And that's gonna be my kind of like big, this is where I play video games for fun. I do want to do a Fire Emblem series at some point, but I'm thinking the series I'm gonna do is probably gonna be Path of Radiance. I only ever played one Switch game and it was not on original Switch hardware. Genuinely, the like surge in handheld systems and like handheld emulation as well. There's quite a bit of those platforms starting to come out now. But stuff like that is going to... it's gonna be real good to have as the, like, RAM crisis continues to be insane. Having the flexibility that's like a system like that provides is tremendous. Having something that's portable as well that I can like, in theory, like if I wanted to take a road trip or something, you know, that makes that a lot more bearable. One can only look at blue sky for so long. I've been thinking about maybe I wanna this summer take a trip to like Tauranga or something. bit of a ways off still, but I really want to go to the beach. And Tauranga seems like it's got nice beaches. I've got a couple friends up that way as well, so we get to run into them again. I found the Switch 2 really comfortable to hold. It's been one of the nicest features of it is just like the feel of the thing is tremendous. I like having it out in the living room and sitting and playing my game in the common area. Definitely, like, I understand both sides of the coin, though, like, in terms of, like, the handhelds and... Not, though. Your Switch sees most of its use docked. Interesting. Or is that a general, like, statistic? I'll be a happy statistical outlier if that is the case. I really just adore using... I adore using it in handheld mode. It also means that, like, if I go to the arcade and my queue is particularly long on a given day, sometimes that happens. Gives me something to do while other folks are playing their sets. Queues here can get up to... I think the biggest queue we've had is about 8 people. We have one machine that supports 2 people at a time, and sets are about 15 minutes per. So, like an hour wait between sets. I just like it handheld. I don't like the screen or how it fits in the hand. My partner's been using it handhelds. Makes sense. Fire Emblem can be a bit of a challenge. Three Houses has such tiny text. It can be a bit of a challenge in a handheld, but I'm not struggling too hard with it. Steam Deck gets used because you don't have a gaming PC. Honestly, fair. I've mentioned it before, but in light of the RAM crisis, I definitely feel very blessed to have the system I do, for lack of a better word. That is looking good. It's a much cleaner sketch. Oh man! This has actually come together really nice. The red line being cleaned up like this is doing a lot for this. I want to do now. I want to give that a little snoot bump. Not canon. Doesn't matter to me. Got a funny little snoot. Just juts out a little bit. That line. So in terms of how they shade these, yeah, I think I've got the rough idea of how they're kind of laying these out. In terms of color, it's like what, 10-degree angle, a couple of strong vertical slices. So for shading, be like what? Too steep. Kind of like that. It's the like skull I did earlier. So pixel. These are refined, sketch, and shading reference. Let me just make sure of something as well. If I flip this to actually match the direction that the Persona ones are facing, layer, arrange, flip horizontal. Incorrect, loud incorrect buzzer. That is the wrong layer. Epic. Okay, it actually does look... It looks proper still, even if you just flip the canvas. That is a result you enjoy seeing. Tremendously satisfying. Alright, let's start the inking process. Stabilizer. 26 pixels. This is making it hard to see. Gotta remember, when I'm working on inking, I need to actually lower my wrist rests, so that rather than using my wrists, draw from the shoulder as much as possible. Not to let my hand cause friction. Failing. Okay, let's try more averaged. But that's worse. happening there? Okay, I think I need a different approach. Come on now. Just work with me. How hard could it be? We're gonna see if this pans out the way I expect that it will. Plowed incorrect buzzer. How hard could it be? Questions you never want the answer to. Let's draw the Charizard. Yeah, it turns out the answer is pretty fucking hard. Just played earlier. Goodbye, Deus Ex. Thank you, False Amber. Now this is going to look very silly for a little bit, but... I request that you bear with me. gonna head out. Take care. Thank you very much. Thank you for stopping in, and see you next time, eh? Oh, Christ. Things are happening to my window, I think. This is looking good. I think now for these next bits, I'm going to draw these in. And make them disappear for a little bit. Other things that I need to work on as part of doing this. as for how these bits are all going to help this come together, you're just going to have to wait and see. But for now, those disappear. Alright, it is now coloring time. Turn off wet edges. On the round brush. Grab my Charizard sample. No stabilizer needed now. Just get nice, big chunks of color done.
Is there a sign of life in what's beyond? If I get out alive, they'll call me God. In flames, I will die for what I want, and I want more. Everything I ever thought I loved will never be to me just as it was. Our fates will not decide for all of us, and I want more. What was I living for?
Go. Need to clean up this bit now. Alright, now for some more funky stuff. Color in that horn now. Softening up towards the end. Overlay, soft light, hard lights. Color burn? No, linear burn. Pigment is not it. Yeah, I think the preview's frozen. Overlay. kind of working. Okay. The next thing I want to do... This has the potential to get weird. Separate that out onto its own layer. This idea, the idea that I've just had will pay off later. I hope. If not, it's not a big deal. Okay, so now here's the 2 lines from earlier. Much less hard. Show the detail. Next bit of color. Side of the mouth. Head. The deep, deep red. Just notice this. Gotta fix that. Charizard. My favorite Pokemon. Not my favorite is Eevee. You know that. Need a transparent background. Set up. Go. Teeth details. Piercing blue eyes. Additional detail. There's a boy. He looks pretty good. Okay, now for my funny trick that I hope pays off. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But it's time for a funny trick. I'll mask this off later. This group, duplicate, and I'm going to merge this just because I don't care. Did I duplicate the rectangle as part of that? No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, we have a single pixel layer. Color overlay. trick. Yeah, somehow I realized that that was not going to work as planned. Not without extra work to like refine and make those consistent. So maybe instead what I do is this. Or, no, not white. Let's build off of the layer there. We'll slightly reduce the lightness and the saturation. Oh, because these, yeah. This might be kind of the best version of this idea. Let's see it through to the end. I got layer order right here. Loud and correct buzzer. So trying to treat it as a... Hang on, so let's rasterize this. No, I want to clip the... The thing that I am trying to do is clip this to the Charizard. Does this need to be a raster layer? That's a destructive operation, so let's make one copy of the non-raster version. So not me noticing it's the wrong way around as well. Yeah, I think these must have been designed as vectors. A rounded style is just not going to make any of this work. I have tried and made a genuine effort to make that work, but we're going to do something else instead. Alright, give me 2 seconds, I'll be right back. Hello, we're back.
Your head, I'll reach out and take you back from the edge. The battle is calling us to our graves beneath the waves, but we fight back to the ending, no ending in sight. Yeah, I got you in my sights, so I'm coming for ya, chaos on my mind. Yeah, built in the struggle, the war wages on. Yeah, we keep fighting until we're on the right rise. There's no right flag to rise. I couldn't run from the fight of my life. I couldn't be a broken blade in the fist fight. Sharper the pen, yeah, the sharper the knife. All I know is divide.
Gotta clean up. Saved. I'd like to just loosely kind of freehand that one. Let's find some real reference material. Loud incorrect buzzer. Notation from my pen. I'm seeing in terms of how this is structured is we start from a base layer. It's like deep orange. It's something like this. Now hang on a minute. Realizing something. Okay, the UI is going painfully slow here. I think I need to restart the program. 2 seconds. Fucking computers. They do be like that. Okay, this is a more correct projection of the sort of flame direction. So if I use this as a reference... Get rid of you. Goodbye. Use that as a reference to kind of build our fire upon. Now we can build out more detail into this. I don't think this is going to come out particularly well, but I'm going to finish at least doing the effect, you know? That way I can say I tried it, and we move on. There's the bones of something that's legally an idea in there, but it's not going to work. Tried. I think what I'll do instead then is do a little bit of light shading around the neck. proper use of color and stuff still very much eluding me. I think we'll call it there on Charizard. Let's get a holographic border on this boy. We'll use the same technique as we've done before. So pull up some stock images. Use this one of a fire. And I'm gonna find a cool lizard. Find a cool lizard. Here's a cool lizard. Same thing on both sides here. Just gonna make it bigger or smaller to suit our needs. Make the lizard large. Stretch him. Now glitch him to shreds. Now we just need to apply filter layer. Make him blurry. Group those. Hide, rinse, repeat. Is shred. is too much detail. Distort. Slice. Oh no, shred. Zoom into the actual size. This should give me a better picture of the detail. Imperfect, but it does do. Obliterate this again, please. Box. Found the actual effect that I was looking for, so. Ramble it. Straight back to it. I'm gonna now need to make this another VOD, which is cool. I have to actually go and edit it to splice it together again. Ah. Okay, so glitch. Grumble. Grumble success. This crashed last time I was doing it, so don't do that again. Thank you. Okay, that's Scrumble 1 done. Distort, glitch. I'm just gonna scramble and blur this one. Scramble, check. Then Voronoi. As a live layer. Going to use which blending mode works best here? additive. I'm just going to take the Gaussian blur out of there and just put it on top. A little bit of them blending into each other, but not too much. Alright, there we go. That's ready to become a hollow border. Merge. Paste this in. Lay it over the Zard. Then duplicate. Layer effects. Alright, I need to do the outline first. 15 is what I've landed on as kind of the appropriate thickness. Then rasterize the effects on there. As a clipping mask. Place inside. FX. Outline. Same thickness, 15. Below. Add a filter, or add an adjustment rather. Recolor's kind of what I want. Color overlay. Just giving them a slightly more reddish color scheme on the hollow. If I go bluish, the bluish is closer to like kind of traditionally what I think of as a holographic pattern. I go with the more reddish accents. Him. It's him boy. He is finished. Charizard was, in fact, probably the scariest one to do, and I'm glad that it's done. We have prepared our boy. Let's put him on the stream. Charizard! Charizard.png. Switch over to the interstitial add-ons. There's the boy. Gonna hang out on the bottom of the pyramid. I think we've got a. I'm gonna give you a look at this on the placeholder version where he's landed. Yeah, here he is in the preview. He'll be biting into the the VOS title a little bit, but that's the placeholder layer. Let's see if we can actually show him on the real thing. Hey, there we go. It's working brilliantly. That's Charizard. That's gonna be me for today as well. Fuck me, this computer crashing is so frustrating. But yeah, we got about 4 hours in. I figure that's pretty good. 07's in the chat. I have to go and code this now because technology hates me.